Boom, boom. This is Kendrick coming at you. How's everybody doing today? All right, so we got a little bit of Azure Lane on top, and as expected, they posted an update last night, and they've got a new event now. Sort of a mini event. There's really not a whole lot involved in this. It's called The Way Home in the Night. Now this is based on, if you're not familiar, um, uh, in 1940, I think it was in July. The French had fallen to this. It's World War II, and the French had fallen to Nazi Germany, and the British, the British and the French were allies, of course. After the surrender, the British were a little concerned about what was going to happen to the French Navy. They did not. They definitely did want the French Navy to be conscripted by Nazi Germany, to replenish their forces and start fighting against British ships. So, some of the French Navy was docked at a place called Mers El Kabir. I think it's an Algerian port. The British, it, the British, blocked the port. Got into a discussion. The new French government, the Vichy French government, was dealing with the Germans, and everybody was saying that the French Navy was not going to be conscripted. But the armistice that was finally agreed on placed the ships in the hands of the Germans, even though the Germans, Nazi Germans, said they wouldn't conscript it. But of course, the British wouldn't believe that, so you can't blame them for that. So they actually attacked the French naval ships. It was a mess. Um, you know, the, uh, the French admiral that was controlling the fleet just completely. I know there's a lot of disagreement as to what, but I think the blame for this clearly falls on the French. The French admiral that was in charge of the fleet there, he didn't act properly, did not act in the best interest of his crew or his ships, and that's what led to this attack. That a lot of French soldiers or French navymen were killed, and I think a few British pilots were killed. But anyway, so what this event is about is one of the ships that had been severely damaged in the British attack was the Dunkirk. So this is her Dunkirk username. She's being sent after the attack. Okay, she was damaged. She was repaired, and then she was supposed to sail to Toulon, Italy, where she was going to be scrapped. Well, let me rephrase that. She was to sail to Toulon, and then it would be determined whether or not they would fix her, or fix her up and repurpose her or use her for something. She ended up being, in the end, she was scrapped in Toulon after the war was over. So um, when they when pretty much the entire French naval fleet was scuttled in Toulon, as the war progressed and stuff, and attempts were made by Italian and forces and whatnot to get the ships. Most of the French Navy was scuttled in Toulon. So this event takes on to that journey by Dunkirk. She was escorted by Tartu, and another ship they're focusing on is I can't say the Vaquiline. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced, but anyway, Vaquiline and Tartu are escorting the Dunkirk Q to Toulon for her, to be repaired or whatever. But so this event takes you through that event, and you get to fight a couple battles. Looks like, I guess there's going to be probably 3 levels to it, so it's just a quickie event. Complete it 60 times, and you get Tartu, French Navy. She's a French naval ship. She's a destroyer, Vaquelin class ship. Okay, so she's a good ship. But yeah, if you do want to know the whole story, she's a French destroyer, Tartu, and that's what you get if you complete it 60 times. But yeah, if you want to know a little bit more about the incident, you can just look it up. It's a Mers El Kabir. You can type it up type it in Google, and there's a bunch of documentaries out there on it. YouTube probably has them, and stuff like that. So if you want to watch exactly what happened, It's a pretty interesting situation, considering that had British ships firing on French ships who had just recently been their allies. So it's pretty interesting, but yeah, it's a large event. But that's what this event symbolizes. Okay, the Crimson Celebration is, of course, there is no longer the event for that, so you can no longer sortie to get Makanami. I already got her. I got her. I got her twice actually. So no getting Makanami, but if you did get her, we'll take a look at her shortly. Monthly login, of course, still going on. So the event now, the Crimson Echoes event is over, of course, but the shop is, of course, still up. If you go to the event, you can still see all of the purchases here. They're going on until the 13th, so they're going to be up for another 6 days. As you can see, I got 14,000 points. I'm still baiting around whether I want to invest in Kagi BB. Not a very good ship, actually. The Kagi you get farming 3-4 normal mode is much better. The aircraft Kaga BB is battleship. Okay, she was then they were then changed over. So, the Imperial Japanese Navy changed over several of the ships. Akagi was actually a ship as well too, and then they were changed over to aircraft carriers. So this is what they were before. That's what Kaga BB is. She's the battleship version of Wakaga, and then she was later updated and retrofitted to become a carrier, which is where she had the infamous incident that occurred in Midway. So for both Wakagi and Kaga, but so the shop is still up for that. So if you do want to grab those things, make sure you use all of your coinage, as they say, on the stuff in here. So, and there's a lot of good stuff to get. It has a pretty good, So I got 14,600 PTP. Once I'm going to buy some more of these, I'm going to buy some more of the blueprints. I'm going to grab some of the parts. I might snatch up, depending on how much oil I'm going to have to use on this next event. I might snatch some of that up. Maybe grab a super cat box. I got buku cognitive chips because I run my dailies every day, so I don't have to worry about that. So, but yeah, I'll purchase some stuff. But yeah, I got Makanami. I did not have very good luck on this event. The build was not with me, as like I say, the force is not with the build was not with me on this one. I got a few, but I didn't get nearly anywhere near what I wanted. So the first one let's talk about. Let's talk about Makanami, okay? Makanami, she's not a bad ship. She's got 20 seconds, increase the ship's firepower by 20. Not a bad skill at all. Double torpedo when this ship fires this torpedo, 15% chance that's dynamic to launch a second wave of torpedoes. Okay, and then an all-out assault, which is base. So she's not a bad ship. Okay, Imperial Japanese Navy. She's a destroyer. She's a destroyer. So the Japanese Navy, not bad. Nothing to write home about, so to speak. But she is cute, so we got to give her that. Also had to cost another Imperial Japanese Navy. She's got interesting. This is interesting skill. So while this ship is afloat, it decreases the damage your main fleet takes by 3.5 and decreases the torpedo, main gun, and damages takes from enemy DCL. So she has the possibility to be a pretty good ship, low-level fleets. So probably not going to work in game. But it's a nice buff for your fleet, and it's not in any way, shape, or form faction specific, so it can be used for everything. So she's not bad. Okay. Another one I got, and this is the one I really wanted to get, fortunately, was Tosa. This is the one I really wanted, because she's a new generation of ship. And we got here, accomplish any feat. When this ship fires a salvo, 45% chance to fire a special barrage. Okay, so that's going to go up. So basically, this thing, she's going to be firing a second. She's going to be firing a special barrage quite often. Okay, that's just the way it goes. It's going to be above 50% because this number is dynamic, and I haven't leveled her up. So it's going to be well above 50% by the time you're done with it. So she's, so you got, that's a good chance. And then this is even better. Okay, when this ship is not afloat, the fleet that this ship is not in has a BB as its flagship, and or said fleet is engaging it launches a special barrage um, for 20 seconds after the other fleet's battle begins. Okay, so basically, you're going to have her firing a barrage in when she's not fighting. So she's going to be in the off fleet, and you're going to have one of your other fleets in the battle. She's going to be firing a barrage. So this is the first type of cross fleet dynamic that we've seen here. So I really wanted to give this a try to see if it would be, to see how well it works. So I was just interested in that. So that's the main reason I wanted to give her, just to give her a shot and see how it worked. And she's a really good ship. So it's interesting. Okay, so we'll see. And I managed to sketch up Naka just today. So a new ship here. She's torpedo ship. Increases torpedo and reload of all DDs and CLs in your fleet. So another not bad, but nothing to write home about either. But still functional. So those are the ones that I've got. So I didn't get a lot of the other ships that I was really looking forward to. But my main focus was Tosa. That's who I primarily wanted from this event, was Tosa. And I got Mogami and Mogami both during draws on this. So I'm in the process of getting Mogami ready. She's going to be in my final fleet for the IGN that I'm building, because she's an in-game ship. Amagi here is not bad, but she's PvP. So we'll see. We'll see about whether or not she can be, how useful she can be in PvP. Also, Mogami, just if you don't know, Mogami has a retrofit, which makes her more powerful as well. So you might want to keep an eye on that. No such retrofit for Amagi, but she's the burn function that she offers makes her a very good ship in PvP. Okay, so yeah, so that's what it up. So this is a new fleet. Yeah, this just popped up last night, so you've got plenty of time. 60 is a lot. I was really surprised. You got to get to SP3 first. I have cleared SP1, and I'm currently in the process of clearing SP2. Now now if you don't want to do the 60 to get her, you can get lucky and build her. There is a rate up event for her. Okay. So if you're not able to get and do the 60 that's required, just make sure you do some builds on her every day, and maybe you get lucky and get her that way. And then if you get her again in the actual event, you could just use that as a limit break for her. So no big deal. She's an elite, so you'll be able to use purple bullets for her. But yeah, so there is a rate up for her, so that's pretty good. So if you can't do 60 is a lot of runs actually. When I saw that 60 SP3s, is that right? And I'm like, that's a lot of runs. But anyway, so Light still got Mogami up. So if you're in both excellent ships, Yukikaza and Mogami are both excellent in-game ships. So you definitely want to build for them if you can. Washington Hood, of course, good. Hey, she's not okay. Special ship, not something you probably use in fleet, but these two can be. Hood is especially good if you're doing an HMS fleet. And then special, we've got, of course, still got Teo. This is Akagi-chan. This is the young version of Akagi, not the carrier Akagi that you want to get in 3-4. Then yeah, don't confuse her with that Akaga, which is much better. This Akagi, all the Akagis that they got out there, the best ones, the best versions of those are the carriers that you get on 3-4. Get those two, pair them up with Nagato as a flagship, and you've got one of the best backlines in the game. Okay, no doubt, no change in that. Has not been changed. That is still the beta. So that's that. So yeah, so that's what they got up. So it's an interesting little event. It's nice. I'm going to do it. I'm powering through the event right now. I've already got like I said, I did SP1. And I'm working on SP2 right now. It's not hard. I've been using just one fleet in these. I haven't even been, I've just been using, I just been using this. I haven't even been taking out another fleet, and just running it with this, just building these guys up as much as I can. So yeah, you should not have any trouble completing it. SB3 I assume is probably going to be about 70, 80 level 80 ships. I would assume. And I don't see much, so it's not going to be exceedingly difficult. But 60 runs is quite a bit of runs to do. I mean, you got it till the 20th, so that's 13 days. So 13 days, 60 times is what you're going to need it. So you're going to have to run it at least 60 times. So 10 times, you have to run 6, 7. Probably have to run it like 8 times. To get it. So in 10 days, well, let's see, 13 days. So in 10 days, if you want to do it in 10 days, you have to do it 6 times. So 4 or 5 times a day. And, but yeah, 5 times a day, 3 times. Yeah, that would get, 5 or 6 times a day, you should be okay. You should be able to finish it in plenty of time, but it's just a lot. Oil is going to be a big consideration, of course. But yeah, just focus on it and get it done. It's not that big. The problem is you got to actually get to 60 before SP3 before you can actually start running it. So I assume that these phase 4s are going to be. I assume that what they're meaning by this is just that phase 2 will be more times. I guess to get the first phase, and they're giving you little gifts along the way. So first 10 times you do it, you get a destroyer retrofit. And maybe we get some nice little we get four little gifties for doing it. So we'll see. But yeah, you're gonna have to run it quite a bit of times. 60 times is quite the thing. But considering the length of time they're giving you too, you're just gonna have to get in there and do it. If you miss a day, or miss a few days, 3 or 4 days, it's gonna be a lot of runs you're gonna have to do to catch up. So it's gonna be a lot of farming. And we're not sure how much oil. They did give us. There was some oil. There was so in the first one there was some sodas, and I got those. And then there's another one up here that has 2,500 oil. It's another 2,000 coins. So you want to look at that. So they're giving us a little bit of oil to help us, Sarah. So that'll make things go a little bit easier. But yeah, so as expected, that's the event up. So it's a nice little event, it's a nice little bit of history. So I would suggest going on the Google, take a look at the Marisol Kabir raid, and take a look at that and see what happened. It's a very interesting incident that occurred, and it makes for good reading, and it's always nice when you have something that you can focus on it. But that's what these ships are for. And yeah, no, Tartu, she's a ship. Tartu is a ship, French naval ship. Okay, Back-Wheeling class French Navy. Okay, so. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Go ahead and put a like on the video if you like it. Now, put a like on the video if you don't like it, okay? Just do it. No, just kidding. But go ahead and put a like on the video. Go ahead and click on the subscribe button. Remember to click on the little bell, ding ding, on the side, so you can get notified every time I drop a video. And this is Kenrir, and I'm still in the corner, but hopefully not for long. And I'm signing out.